Hello everybody and welcome to the Genji YouTube channel. Today going to show you the most played decks on best of 1 and best of 3 on MTG Arena so far. Let's go, let's start with the meta breakdown. So first of all guys, I have to tell, I'm making this list with Tier Maker. If you wanna take a look of the whole list, you will see in the description down below. Also, every single deck that I'm going to show you today, okay, so every single list, it will be down below in the description of the video, and also Tier Maker list. So in case you wanna take a look, just go down below to the description of the video and make a click there. So let's start. First of all, the best of 3 Tier 1 decks, the most played decks, the most popular decks on best of 3 in Tier 1. Ban Ramp and Mono Red Aggro. Of course you already know about Mono Red Aggro. Let's speak about Ban Ramp because it's a quite new deck, you know. The last Star City Games ends with 4 Ban Ramps winning the tournament, no less, 4 freaking Ban Ramps, so this deck is quite a thing. The main idea of the deck is get a lot of mana and make a huge crisis, but also you're playing mass manipulation and other kind of huge spells. So the main idea is ramp with your creatures, Anywhere Elf, Druid, what is the Druid's names? The Paradise Druid and the Incubation Druid, and with that 12 creatures and also with Nissa, you will get a lot of mana to make a huge crisis. So that means you always will win against aggro decks, against mid-range decks, and your only bad matchup is control decks, but you have 4 negates and a lot of stuff against control on your sideboard. So that means in the game 2 and game 3 against ESPER control and other control decks, you'll have like a 50% of the win rate. So that's not bad at all. So right now the most played and the most good deck on MTG Arena for best of 3 is Ban Ramp. But also Burn is quite like you know, most of the new players and most of the regular players as well are playing more red right now because at some point it's the best deck for farm in MTG Arena. So if you want to get gold, if you want to farm more cards, mono red is the best idea you can have because you really win so quickly against most of the matchups, and if you lose, well, you have like a 60 or 70% of win rate against everything, so it's one of the most played decks for that. Let's go for the tier 2. You have 5 colors Dreadhorde or 4 colors Dreadhorde, the Reanimator deck with all the command Dreadhorde and stuff about the, you know, the Wildgrowth Walker, the Branch Walker, the Jade Ranger, the Exploration pack. With the Exploration pack and the Dreadhorde you will, you know, reanimate a lot of Planeswalkers and creatures to the battlefield, and that's quite awesome. I think it's a good deck, but not good enough for being tier 1, but the best deck on tier 2 so far, that's for sure. You also have ESPER midrange. It's not the same as ESPER control. In ESPER midrange you're playing Thief of Sanity on the main deck, you're playing the God Eternal Cathnet, and you're also playing, of course, the Teferi and all that stuff, and the Hero of the Present One. So at some point the main idea is play the Hero of the Present One and get value for them, playing multicolored spells, and with that idea, at some point against other mid-range decks you have a lot of removal, so I think it's the most good mid-range deck right now, and I think it's even better than ESPER Control. Speaking about ESPER Control, there is a problem with ESPER Control so far. You know the Teferi of 3 mana, the one who don't let you play instants in only as a sorcery, you know. So with the new Teferi, the Time Revealer I think is the name, yeah, Teferi Time Revealer, the control it's now a little bit, you know, unplayed. Because Nexus is no more, and ESPER control normally plays on your turn, but with the Teferi in every single deck right now, in Sultai, in Band, in 4 colors Dreadhorde, almost every single deck is playing now Teferi, the 3 mana drop Teferi. So ESPER Control has a lot of problems to keep on tier 1. Anyway, it's a really good deck, so that's why it's in tier 2 right now, and I think it's a good idea to keep playing. Only you have to play Elder Spell so far, but that's all. Well, Gruul midrange. Let's speak about Gruul midrange. Gruul midrange is the most hated deck that I have because I really hate to get mana screwed and mana flute, and that always happens with Gruul. I don't know why, but with Gruul, on my opening hands I always get mana screwed or mana flute. Don't ask me why, it's just happening. Anyway, it's a quite proper good deck. The Warriors Gruul I think is the better version of Gruul, but you also have Planeswalkers Gruul and Stompy Gruul. By the way, in best of one, Stompy Gruul is one of the best decks, as you will see later on. And well, I think it's a good idea to keep playing Gruul, more in best of one than best of three. But well, if you really like Gruul, if you really like to play the Phoenix and all the stuff, the Dragon, the Sharkan, and also Planeswalkers Gruul is a quite good deck, so I think it's a good idea to keep playing. Sultai midrange. What we have here, you know, the Sultai midrange, the deck who's make a lot of winnings on tournaments the last season, now is in tier 2. It seems it's not getting better with Water the Spark, so it's getting worse actually. But we have a new version of Golgari with a splash only for the Crassus, and I think that's a really quite good deck, not for winning tournaments but for farm as well, and also for, you know, get some L in the ranked. It's not bad at all, but I think Sultai is not already what it used to be, you know. And in best of 3 we have Grixis midrange. It seems Nicol Bolas is not so good as we think. It's in tier 3, I think more... It's in tier 3 only because a lot of people want to play Grixis, not because it's so really good. A lot of people want to play Nicol Bolas, the new Nicol Bolas for 5 mana. And well, I say it's a Grixis midrange and not a Grixis control because you're playing the Nicol Bolas for 4 mana, the creature dragon for 4 flying, and you're also playing the Thief of Sanity. So at this point it's like a ESPER midrange with Grixis instead of ESPER. So it's quite good. It's not a bad deck. I think it's better in best of 1, but it could be like a tier 3 in best of 1. But anyway, it's good, and it's really funny to play it. So far so good. Let's go with Ethed Phoenix. Ethed Phoenix is like the most old deck right here, right now, isn't it? All these decks are almost new, but Ethed Phoenix still in tier 3 for like half a year, I think. And more than half a year, 9 months so far. And well, Ethed Phoenix is quite good. The only problem with the Ethed Phoenix is the same, it has ESPER control. You want to play in the turn of your opponent, but the new Teferi don't let you do it. So that's the main problem with Ethed Phoenix. You want to play every single card you have in the turn of your opponent, but with the new Teferi, you're not going to be able to do it no more. So. And now going for the best of 1, you have of course Mono Red again and the Mono Green Ram, my favorite deck of the whole season. I really love this deck and I really want to recommend you to play it. The crafter of this deck is one famous streamer called Asian Avenger, so far I think. And yeah, it's like the Tron, the regular Tron of Modern, but you play in the cards and you play in the Nisas, and of course you're not playing the Tron lands. But well, anyway, you're getting a lot of mana, and with your card, with the new card, you're going to make a -2 for search for one of the spells of the Liberty, and of the Liberty, no, of the Cyborg, sorry. And why are you playing Cyborg if you're playing best of 1, you will ask me? Because with card, and I'm going to show you MTG Arena, let me 1 minute for open MTG Arena. With Karn, you're going to search for a lot of value cards on your sideboard. Let me show it. If MTG Arena opens, there we go. 1 second, decks. It's my favorite deck so far. And with Karn, with the -2, you will search on your sideboard for all this stuff. And that's quite good in best of 1 because when you play Karn, you already know what are you playing against. So if you're playing against, you know, mid-range, Meteor Golem will be awesome. If you're playing against control deck, Receiver the Walls, with the combo with Field of Wind, it's going to be really good. And also you can do Sentinel Golem to destroy every single chance of winning of Dreadhorde, of the Reanimator, because you exile all cards from all graveyards, including yours. And also you have against Burn, Diamond Mare, but Burn is quite a good matchup anyway, because you have a lot of stuff against Burn. You have all these blockers, you have Flourishing with you 3 life, you have the Paradise Druid for get more mana, and later on at some point you're going to play a Sword Tooth, a Jalai Ranger, and also your Planeswalkers are good for, against Burn, because Karn enters with 5 counters and you go to at 6, so that means he has to waste 2 burn spells to kill Karn. So so far this deck is the most good to play best of 1 as far as I know, with Burn of course. Burn is one of the best decks as well. And in tier 2 you have ESPER Control, the version for best of 1. The good thing about ESPER Control in best of 1 is you will not see so much Teferi as in best of 3, because in best of 3 you have to play against Band, you have to play against 4 colors Dreadhorde, you have to play against Mirrors of Esper, against Esper Midrange, against Jeskai Walkers, and all that's all the decks, and all that decks has 4 or 3 Teferi Time Revealer on the main board. So that means ESPER Control has more problems in best of 3 than in best of 1, because in best of 1 none of those decks will be on the metagame. So that's why ESPER Control is really good in best of 1 right now. And also you have White Winnie and Gorilla Stompy. Well, I really think this is a good idea, you know. Every single week I'm going to give you a video like that, just showing you the metagame, and down below in the description of the video you will see always the best list of the metagame every single week. So if you really like the video, make a like to Team Genji, and see you next time. Bye!